I believe that silver and silver mining stocks may be on the verge of a generational breakout that could result in a historic bull run for the asset. I also believe the shiny white stuff could be significantly outperforming the shiny yellow stuff through the remainder of 2025 and even into 2026 and beyond. So obviously, in this video, I want to talk to you about why I feel this way. We're going to look at some important charts, discuss a critical fundamental catalyst that I think may lead to a big move in silver in the short term. And then, of course, we'll dive into the charts. I'll talk to you guys about some price targets that I'm personally eyeballing and how I'm trading this myself, because just for full transparency, I am currently loaded up with silver call options in my personal portfolio, and I'll give you more specifics on that later on. My name is Royce Jacob. I've been a professional trader for over 5 years. I have over 1,000 videos just like this on YouTube. So subscribe if you're not already, and let me know in the comments below what you think about silver. Are you more bullish on silver or gold? And let me know what your favorite precious metal stock is. My name is Royce Jacob, and welcome back to Waves Capital. Let's dive in. All right, so first things first, we're going to go over this historical chart that compares silver to gold, and this dates back 20 years, okay? Silver is this orange line right here, and gold is the blue line. You can see back here in 2011, silver was significantly outperforming gold. And that looks a little different this time around. If you've been paying any attention to precious metals at all over the past year or two, you would know that gold has been leaving silver in the dust. Gold has been smoking silver as far as performance is concerned, which leads me to believe that there is room for silver to play some catch up. This is not guaranteed. This is just my feeling, but based upon previous historic patterns. And when the markets enter this state of true excitement around precious metals, which I personally believe we're entering right now, given these fundamental and technical setups that I'm seeing on the charts, I do think that silver will see its time to shine. And I do think, as I've alluded to, that silver and silver mining stocks will be outperforming gold, just considering they have been underperforming relative to gold over the past few years now. Okay, so before we dive into the charts and talk about some short, medium, and longer term price targets, as well as my personal silver trades, let's take a look at this. Okay, so Bloomberg, this article was just released today. Silver borrowing costs surge on tariff-driven supply jitters. Now, I want to make it clear that, with this tariff stuff there's a lot of uncertainty and volatility and, wishy-washiness involved with the whole tariff situation. So take this with a grain of salt. But just these 101 supply and demand economics could result, especially considering the way silver is looking on the charts right now, to some massive moves on silver and a potential just supply squeeze. Not necessarily a short squeeze, but a supply chain squeeze on the underlying asset. And obviously that is good news for silver because supply and demand, just once again, supply and demand economics 101. The less supply you have of something with if you have consistent demand for that underlying asset, that's good for the price of that asset. Okay, we aren't going to read too much of this. Go check this out on your own time if you want, but we're just going to read these first two paragraphs and then jump into the charts. Okay, so surging lease rates for silver are once again upending the precious metals market, with traders fearing that possible U.S. tariffs could squeeze already tight supplies in London as price dislocations reemerge between key trading hubs. Washington last month categorized silver as critical to U.S. national security, fueling worries that its new status may draw the attention of President Donald Trump, who ordered an investigation into critical minerals in April. That sent futures in New York above the international benchmark as traders price in the risk of silver getting hit with tariffs and holders scramble to ship the white metal into the U.S. to capture premiums. Okay, and once again, who knows if this is going to happen? This is speculative as of right now. But, this is a Bloomberg release. Bloomberg, in my opinion, and it's all subjective, I guess. In my opinion, Bloomberg, credible source. And again, just if we do see this supply chain squeeze on silver, that is inevitably good news for the price of silver per ounce and for SLV and AG, which, to bring it around, are the assets that I'm personally trading. Okay, so silver, we're going to kick it off short term. If you're watching this at a later date, then it's okay because I'm going to zoom out and talk about some longer term targets as well. We're now on daily candles. You can see here that silver has just recently, as of last week, which made me really excited and just encouraged me to make this video this week is the fact that silver has broken out from a very, very significant line of long-term resistance. You can see this is absolute resistance, this dark blue line right here. This is what I would consider to be the line of conservative resistance on this massive long-term ascending channel that's been in place since well over a year, since May of 2024. So we just broke out from this. You can see we came back down, retested this broken, this prior level of resistance as new support, bounced off of that as support, confirmed this as support, and just the way things are looking, again, going short term now, we have 1 day RSI moving up, nowhere near overbought levels just yet. I mean, we're getting a little close, but we still have a long way to go as far as like achieving truly overbought levels go. And by overbought, I mean this dash line right here. I'm going to move my fat head real quick. You can see here on RSI, anything that's above 80, which is these dash lines where my cursor is hovering, that signals overbought territory, okay? And right now, we're approaching there, but we're above this exponential moving average, which is the white line. And with the way 1 day stochastic RSI, which is where my cursor is hovering down here, is looking ready to curl to the upside, this implies, especially following this break of resistance, that more upside is on the horizon. And just the way silver is performing, even as tech stocks perform well, which is especially this is especially reassuring to me, seeing names like Nvidia climb today while all silver is still climbing, silver and gold are still climbing. Also leads me to believe that this trade in itself could act as a win-win. Not only can these act as a safe haven in the case that tech stocks, the NASDAQ, the S&P do fall in the short term, which I think is entirely possible. So not only can silver and gold act as the chaos hedge safe haven that they've proven themselves to be historically, but they can also perform if the markets continue to rip. So in my mind, again, nothing is guaranteed, but this seems like, as far as a potential win-win is concerned, or a low-risk trade at the very least, the risk profile on silver right now seems heavily, heavily weighted in favor of the bulls or to the upside, okay? So from here, where do we go? That's where we're going to zoom out, okay? You can see here that I think we could be seeing some resistance just under this 43 level, and that's because if we zoom out here, we're going to go to weekly charts. This is where we're going to zoom out, go all the way back to 2011, silver's previous high. And again, keep in mind, you guys, gold way beyond its previous all-time high. Silver hasn't even broken to its prior all-time high, which at its peak was just under 50. Okay, so silver's all-time high back in 2011 was just about $50 per ounce. Okay, right now, obviously we're sitting at just above 41. I do think that we could see some resistance around here, around this level, just under $43, because you could see here on this rally up back in 2011, we had a few weekly candles that tried to get above this level and didn't manage to, okay? So do I think silver breaks to a new all-time high in 2025? Yes, but from a trading perspective, and again, just how I'm going to do my best to responsibly take profits within my own portfolio, I will be taking profits and just reorganizing and restructuring my call options positions. If you're not familiar with options, I do have a cheap course. Cheap is relative, I guess, but I believe it's cheap, especially compared to a lot of the other stuff. Simple and effective guide to trading options, options contracts, $22. It's the first link in the description. I'm going to shout out my complete portfolio and daily trade alerts, email newsletters. I'll just do that at the end of the video to save time. But that's going to be the link in the first link in the description or in the pinned comment of this video if you guys are interested in that. But anyway, again, once silver sees this level just under $43, I will be restructuring and skimming profits from my SLV, which is iShares Silver Trust position, as well as my first Majestic Silver position, which is my favorite silver mining stock. So while we're here, let's just keep this real zoomed out, and we're going to take a look at First Majestic Silver on a long-term time horizon. Forgive these little moves. We'll zoom in and then zoom back out. Sorry, it's a little sloppy, but I do have these levels in play right here, and just the way these weekly candles are looking, and we'll kind of reinforce this bullish weekly setup with SLV because it's just a mirror of silver for the most part. You can see here AG, massive long-term breakout from a significant descending channel. similar to silver, has came down to retest that as new support. Now it's holding a beautiful, we'll go to daily candles for this, holding a beautiful shorter term ascending channel. And I do think that by the end of September and potentially even sooner, which my money is on for full transparency, I do think that we can make our way up to these levels of conservative and absolute resistance on this channel. So roughly my price target for AG over the next 1 to 2 weeks is going to be up about 10 to anywhere from 10 to 12%, depending upon when this central line of resistance is tested. But just as a ballpark, it's going to be like 1050 in the short term. Okay, so that's around that 1050 level is where I'm going to be once again skimming profits and restructuring my call options position on First Majestic Silver. But long term, as you can see, as we kind of just we just looked at, AG has a lot of ground to make up. You can see back in 2011 when silver set its all-time high at $50, AG was at $26. Okay, and over time we've just been in this massive descending channel. So if you want to get real, AG is kind of just in a massive sideways trading range right here. And this is the line of absolute resistance on this massive trading range. That would take us up to obviously back above like 22, 23 bucks. Okay. But where am I taking profits? I'm looking at this line of what I consider to be conservative absolute resistance or semi-conservative resistance. But really what I'm looking at is this line of what I would consider to be conservative long-term resistance. Okay. This comes in line nicely with some of these levels where AG played out this head and shoulders in 2020 and 2022, massive head and shoulders pattern. So these coincide right around the beginning of the new year, 2026, and these would take us up over 50% above $14 per share. So is this guaranteed? By no means is it guaranteed. Is it possible? You can see over here that in 1 week, back in April of 2024, so not even that long ago, AG jumped that much in 2 weeks, okay? So is it possible to see where over the span of 4 to 6 months, AG climbed 52% up to this $14+ region to test these lines of conservative, very conservative long-term resistance? I think it is, and I will continue to keep my money on that in the case that it happens, because clearly you can tell I'm excited about silver. I think this is going to happen. And on that note, if you guys do want not just my silver plays, but all of my tech plays, my AI plays, literally a full breakdown of my entire personal portfolio, which I update every single trading day and send out my daily trade alerts and portfolio analysis newsletters, then it's the first link in the description of the video, once again, or in the pinned comments, similar to the options course. But you get everything that this box here entails for $15 a month, $40 every 3 months. That's completely up to you. But give it a shot if you're interested. It's been an amazing year at Waves Cap. It's been an amazing summer at Waves Cap, and I'm excited to see what the fall and winter have in store. And I'm excited to see you guys in there. So welcome to the team if you choose to join. If not, I still appreciate you watching this video. Let's close this out with the SLV on the charts. Once again, SLV pretty darn similar to AG, but we'll just go to silver. Like silver's setup on the weekly RSI also gives me a reason to believe that we still have room to run. You can see here, weekly stochastic RSI just curled to the upside. That's a bullish signal. Weekly RSI, similar to daily RSI, not yet close to those overbought levels of those 80 levels on RSI. Very, very good news. And just look at, it doesn't take a genius to look at this chart and tell you that this thing looks poised to climb higher. Okay. So SLV, just similar to silver, I do think that in the short term, I will be taking profits around 3.8 to 4% if we see it over the next week or so. But I am going to point out one of my favorite trading patterns in the entire trading game, and you know this if you're a member of the YouTube channel or watch the trader tips, and that is this line of broken support that I think could come into play as new resistance. If we're to see this, say silver breaks out from, this, you can see SLV is in this very clean ascending channel right here. If SLV can break out from this ascending channel, then I wouldn't be surprised to see us climb, another 13 to 14%, potentially by the end of the month if we really get things moving, which, again, I think is entirely possible. We've seen it before. I think if there's a time to see it again, it is right now. It's September, October of 2025. If we see this over the coming month, I definitely think we can see 42 plus, maybe even, 43, 44 bucks if this rally is to continue through the fall, which, again, as you can Till at this point, hopefully at least, I'm bullish on silver. I think this has a very, very bright and shiny future ahead of it, and I'm excited to trade. So again, let me know in the comments below what your favorite silver stock is. If you think this is whack, and if you think gold is going to outperform silver, let me know and let me know why. But I look forward to talking to you guys downstairs. Look forward to seeing you guys in the portfolio group. Again, first link in the pinned comment or in the description. And I'll catch you next time. Until then, always remember, take action, make waves. Peace.